Mngangagwa families. In absentia, the First Lady Mngangagwa, the Vice President and Second Secretary of ZANU-PF, General Retired Dr. C.D.G.N. Chiwenga, Vice President and Second Secretary in absentia of ZANU-PF, General Retired KCD Mohadi, the Chairman of ZANU-PF and the Minister of Defense, Comrade Honorable OCZ Nchinguri Kashiri, the Minister of State for Harare Metropolitan Province, Honorable Charles Kabengwa, Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers who are here, the Speaker of Parliament, Advocate JFN Mudenda, the President of the Senate, Honorable Amai M.M. Chinomona, the Chief Justice, Justice Waunza, President of the National Chiefs Council, Senator Mchana Kumalo, Politburo and Central Committee members who are here, the Chief Secretary to the President Cabinet, Dr. Martin Ushuaia, Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Vincent Ungwe, Commander Zimbabwe Defense Forces, General E. Matatu, Service Chiefs who are here, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Mayor of the City of Harare, His Worship, Councillor J. Mafume, veterans of the armed liberation struggle, senior government officials, my dear fellow mourners, comrades, and friends. On behalf of the people and government, our revolutionary mass party, ZANU-PF, and indeed, on my own behalf, I express heartfelt condolences to the Ruwodo and Mngangagwa families following the passing on of Major General Retired Richard Ruwodo, our late national hero, whose Tumrenga name was Moshe Kwititi, passed on 7th July 2026 in Harare. Our prayers and sympathies are with you during this solemn and difficult period. He was a gallant son of the soil who devoted his life to wholeheartedly serve our motherland Zimbabwe with unwavering patriotism, immense honor, and professionalism. Throughout his long career in the military and public service, he exemplified unflinching loyalty as a patriotic commander who fought in the armed liberation struggle. Sadly, however, our nation continues to lose that stalwart generation of devoted freedom fighters. We remain grateful for the role they played for us to be where we are today. However, we are emboldened by the new crop of young heroes and heroines who are emerging and taking up the mantle to carry forward the ideals of armed liberation struggle as we build the beloved motherland, Zimbabwe. As we do so, we shall jealously defend, protect, and promote our collective national interests and the rich values bequeathed to us by our forebears, as well as heroes and heroines, such as the late national hero, retired General Ruwodo. May his soul rest in eternal peace. My dear fellow mourners, born on 14 March 1954 in Mutasa, Manicaland province, the late general officer received the primary education at Mutasa School before proceeding to Highfield Secondary here in Harare between 1969 and 1972. On completion, he secured employment as a salesman at Bata Shoe Company in 1973, where he was elevated to a managerial post in recognition of his hard work and leadership qualities. Late National Hero Major General retired Ruwodo gave up his comfort and career prospects in industry to join the armed liberation struggle in 1975 as a Zanla cadre. Comrade Moshe Kwititi, as he was known during the armed liberation struggle, received the military training at Chimoio in Mozambique before deployment to the party headquarters in Maputo as Director of Finance, working under the late hero, Comrade Ernest Kadungure. After attainment of our country's independence in 1980, the late general officer held various portfolios that contributed to building professionalism within the Zimbabwe National Army. He began at the level of Deputy Chief Paymaster, later to be appointed as the first Black Director of Zimbabwe National Army Pay and Records. We remember and cherish his pivotal role in the integration process. The late general officer helped to strengthen good corporate governance, accountability and transparency, probity, and overall human capital development within the Zimbabwe National Army. For his dedication, patriotism, selfless and exemplary service to the Zimbabwe Defense Forces and the nation at large, our late general officer was awarded the Liberation Medal, the Liberation Decoration Silver Medal, the Independence Medal, 10 years Service Medal, Long and Exemplary Service Medal, the Mozambique Campaign Medal, and the Grand Officer of the Zimbabwe Order of Merit Award. On his retirement in 2008, the late Major General retired Ruwodo was appointed Principal Director responsible for war veterans in the then Ministry of Defense and War Veteran Affairs. In that position, he consistently advocated for improved conditions and welfare of the veterans of our protracted armed liberation struggle. My dear comrades, today We'll also recognize and honor the late national hero, Professor Herbert Mapfumo Chinyanga, who passed on in South Africa on 2nd July 2026 at the age of 86. He will be cremated in line with his wishes. The life history of the late Professor Chinyanga is an epitaph of patriotism, integrity and humility, professional excellency and a selfless service. He was a towering national and pioneering physician whose lifelong service helped to transform the specialization of anesthesia, advanced medical education, and strengthened Zimbabwe's healthcare system in our country. He was born on July 26, 1939, in the then Gwelo, now Gweru. The national hero, Professor Chinyanga, received the primary education at Daramombe Mission between 1946 and 1952, before proceeding to Goromonzi Government School between 1953 and 1957. He demonstrated exceptional academic ability from an early age. During this period, a limited number of young people from the black majority were allowed access to university education by the settler colonial administration. Fortunately, the young Herbert had the chance to enroll at the then University of Rhodesia and Nyasaland, now University of Zimbabwe, to study physics, chemistry, and zoology. His top of the class grades earned him a prestigious World Health Organization scholarship in 1960 to study medicine at the Hebrew University in Jerusalem, where he obtained a Master of Science in Physiology and a Doctorate of Medicine. He briefly worked in Ghana as a lecturer. In 1973, he moved to Canada and trained as a specialist in anesthesia and intensive care. Through diligence and professional excellence, he qualified as a fellow of the Royal College of Physicians of Canada in 1978. Later, completing further fellowship training in pain management, he joined the University of Toronto and international acclaimed hospital for sick children, where he earned international recognition as an accomplished clinician, researcher, and educator. After independence, the late Professor Chinyanga made a bold and defining decision that would forever shape Zimbabwe's medical history. He voluntarily left behind the prestige and opportunities of the developed world to come home to serve his country. Our late national hero, Professor Chinyanga, is a patriot and a selfless cadre who believed that knowledge, expertise, and experience acquired belong first and foremost to our motherland, Zimbabwe. He held the view that an independent and sovereign nation had a duty to build its own capabilities in specialist medicine, rather than remaining dependent on expatriate expertise. In 1986, that national hero, Professor Mngangagwa, established Zimbabwe's first postgraduate programs for the Diploma and Master of Medicine in Anesthetics at the University of Zimbabwe. Through these programs, he transformed a new specialty into one of Zimbabwe's strongest medical disciplines. This ensured safer surgery procedures, stronger intensive care services, and improved patient outcomes for Zimbabweans. Beyond his area of specialty, the late Professor Mngangagwa served as chairman of the Department of Anesthetics and later as acting Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University of Zimbabwe College of Health Sciences. He played a pivotal role in establishing the School of Medicine at the National University of Science and Technology, as well as the School of Medicine at Midlands State University. He provided ground leadership and guidance in Zimbabwe's pioneering open heart surgery program. During his illustrious career, our national hero, Professor Mngangagwa, also served as president of the Zimbabwe Anesthetic Association, as well as chairman and editor of the Central African Journal of Medicine and member of the World Federation of Societies of Anesthesiologists. He was a member of the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe and the Research Council of Zimbabwe. In 2007, the University of Zimbabwe conferred him the distinguished title of Professor Emeritus in recognition of his exceptional contribution to higher education and national development. In 2025, the Zimbabwe Anesthetic Association honored him as the father of anesthesia in our country. This was an acknowledgement that the specialty he pioneered continued to save lives through the crop of specialists he nurtured and trained. The late national hero, Professor Mngangagwa, retired from service in December 2024. We shall forever remember him and honor his contributions to humanity in the field of medicine, which spanned for close to 40 years of uninterrupted service in our beloved motherland, Zimbabwe. My dear fellow mourners, comrades and friends, the lives of our two gallant sons, late Major General Ruwodo and Professor Mngangagwa, provide rich repository of service from which the nation will learn about national sacrifice, professionalism, hard work, and love for their motherland, Zimbabwe. I call upon all Zimbabweans across all fields of specializations in both the private and public sectors to emulate their exemplary service. Intellectuals are challenged to turn ideas, scientific thought, and practice into tangible products and services that transform the lives of our people. Similarly, the ongoing knowledge-driven revolution under the Second Republic must see us create local solutions to address gaps in the various sectors of the economy. Under my administration, all areas of specialization, fields of work and professions remain critical assets and tools at the nation's disposal that must be appropriately organized for building, modernizing and industrializing our motherland, Zimbabwe. Through our own collective efforts, the future of our country is bright, and Vision 2030 is becoming a reality for the prosperity of our people. This was the desire of our founding fathers, along with many of our forebears, our freedom fighters, as well as heroes and heroines of the armed liberation struggle. Let us all play our part to keep the flames of independence, the flames of freedom and sovereignty, development and prosperity burning brighter and brighter. On its part, my government will accelerate the implementation of people-centered decisions and resolutions focused on lifting many out of poverty into a better quality of life. Finally, to the late national heroes, Major General retired Ruwodo and Professor Emeritus Mngangagwa, we say, go well, fellow patriots. We thank you for the examples we have left us of consistent and persistent service to our great motherland, Zimbabwe. You did your part and showed the way. Today, the nation, from Plum Tree to Mtare and Ruwodo to Bind Bridge, salutes you for your impeccable records of dedicated professionalism and hard, honest work in the army and the medical field. Fambai Takanaka, Hambani Kasrantwana, Vintavati, Lalani Mokutura, Kawe la Makawe yetu, Zorai Mugare, Magamba yetu, Tinokutendai. May your souls rest in eternal peace. God bless you all. God bless Zimbabwe. Thank you.